This is Mac OS Ken.
Analysts react to Apple earnings. iPhone and the Mac defy their categories. And Apple has ideas for Mother's Day. It is Monday, the 2nd of May, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Collide. Endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and try it for free at KOLIDE collide.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. How many times has this happened to you? Somebody at work says something, somebody else says something else. There's confusion between the two, and no one place to get it all cleared up. At best, you can take time clearing up a misunderstanding. At worst, person A is throwing person B under the bus, while the whole team is hit with delay and confusion. Clear, visible, accessible communication is important, and that is something you can have with Notion. Notion is an all-in-one team collaboration tool that combines note-taking, document sharing, wikis, project management, and much more into one space that is simple, powerful, and beautifully designed. Who said what? It's right there. What's our next step? It's right there. Whether you're working with people across the room or across the country, you will have everything you need in one spot. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. That's notion.com/macOSKen to help you take the first step toward an organized, happier team today. NOTION, that is notion.com/macOSKen. Not a lot of needles moved in the wake of Apple's record March quarter earnings, though the ones that did moved down. Well, most of them. Apple 3.0 gathered a lot of notes from financial folk. It does not appear that anybody is worried about Apple's performance. While it'll do as good or better than whatever competitors it has, trouble in the supply chain, inflation, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine are all happening on the same planet Apple is on. Piper Sandler analyst Harsh Kumar thinks Apple's substitute for financial guidance may be considered a disappointment for all the wrong reasons. These include stopping sales in Russia, foreign exchange headwinds, the $4 billion to $8 billion headwind from COVID shutdowns in China, and the same silicon shortage being faced by every company out there. According to Kumar, Apple's fundamentals seem to be headed in the right direction, but the short-term transitory impacts are distorting June quarter results. Piper Sandler has an overweight rating on Apple shares. Kumar bumped his price target on the shares down from $200 to $195. Thinking along a similar line is JP Morgan analyst Samik Chatterjee. Apple Insider highlighted his note. Quoting the site, despite the great execution in the March quarter, Chatterjee believes that the upcoming June quarter could demonstrate that the company isn't immune to difficulties in the macro environment. He believes there will be limiting factors on the execution-led upside in the June quarter. Not that he's not still into it. Continued robust iPhone demand in this economy is among the factors that keep him pleased. He's got a positive rating on Apple shares and a price target of some sort. Friday's Apple Insider piece says he moved his target from $200 to $205, though that seems wrong for several reasons. First, he's talking about problems ahead, which sounds like a prelude to dropping targets, not raising them. Additionally, back on the 7th of April, Apple Insider had a note from Chatterjee putting his price target at $210. Meanwhile, TipRanks has Chatterjee's Apple price target at $200 as of Friday, so it is safe to say that he has a price target on Apple shares. That target is more than likely $200. Back now to Apple 3.0, which mentions 2 more lowered targets without saying why. The excerpt the site ran from Morgan Stanley analyst Katie Huberty talked about not only what was great for last quarter, but also what's great for the current quarter. Quoting her note, June quarter demand commentary struck us as notably more positive than other consumer reports this earnings season, with underlying demand trends suggesting year-on-year revenue growth in the June quarter could be in line to slightly stronger than the March quarter of 9% year-on-year. Huberty has an overweight rating on Apple shares. Still, she does know what year it is. She has lowered her 12-month price target on Apple from $210 to $195. Offering no note of explanation, Apple 3.0 says Deutsche Bank analyst Sidney Ho lowered his 12-month price target on Apple shares. Used to be $210, it is now an even $200. I said earlier that most moving targets had moved down. Credit Suisse analyst Sami Bardi inched his target up $1. Quoting his note, Apple's broader ecosystem is supported by services and a growing installed base while the company works through supply constraints. That said, increasing macro uncertainty and inflationary pressures will likely result in lower product demand during calendar year 2022. He has a neutral rating on Apple shares, and yet Apple 3.0 says he upped his 12-month price target the tiniest bit from $168 to $169. Financial analysts looking past the rough quarter ahead may be taking the very recent past into account. Remember how iPhone set a March quarter record despite supply constraints? Yeah, it seems to have done even better than that. After Apple's quarterly earnings report last week, a piece from Mac Rumors says the industry analysts Analysts, IDC, and Strategy Analytics all published their estimates on smartphone shipments for the March quarter. They all differ in exact numbers and estimates according to the piece, but across all 3 reports, Apple was the only maker to have experienced growth in the last quarter. Looking at the individual firms, Strategy Analytics put Apple in second place globally with growth that was almost not like growth. iPhone grew 0.6% in the firm's estimation, though again, from first place Samsung down 2.7% to fourth place Vivo down a vertigo-inducing 31.2%, Apple was the only one to see any growth at all. IDC had iPhone growing more and Samsung losing less. iPhone was up 2.2% in that firm's estimation, while Samsung was only down 1.2%. Vivo was also IDC's biggest loser, with a 27.2% drop. Looking better for iPhone and worse for Sammy were numbers from Canalys. That firm had first-place Samsung smartphone shipments dropping 8%, while iPhone grew 4%. Once again, Vivo was the biggest loser, with a year-on-year drop of 30%. It looks like performance for the Mac compared to its competitors was nearly as impressive as iPhone's last quarter. 9to5Mac cites new numbers from Counterpoint Research saying Mac shipments grew 8% in the first quarter of 2022, while the top 2 PC brands saw their own shipments suffer double-digit falls. While Apple was not the only computer maker to see growth last quarter, it did see the most. According to the firm, first place Lenovo saw shipments drop 10%, second place HP saw shipments drop 16%, third place Dell saw shipments rise 1%, fourth place Apple saw shipments rise 8%, and in fifth place, an inglorious group of others saw shipments rise 3%. To hear Apple CEO Tim Cook and company tell it, it's interest in Apple Silicon driving Mac sales to new heights. As for what's hampering the personal computer segment as a whole, Counterpoint points to 4 points. 9to5Mac lists these as 1. Global inflation is reducing the spending power of consumers and businesses alike. 2, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has created a great deal of uncertainty and concern about the social, political, and economic future. 3, continued component shortages and logistics challenges, especially with oceanic shipping. And 4, COVID-19 lockdowns in China screwed up supply even more than before. Mystery solved around the latest AirTag firmware update. Last week we heard word of AirTag firmware 1A301. We didn't know what it did. We didn't know when we would get it. We only knew that it was out there. Well, we know now what Apple was or is up to. In a support doc, Apple says AirTag firmware update 1.0.301 tunes the unwanted tracking sound to more easily locate an unknown AirTag. The company also gives users instructions on how to see what version of the firmware their AirTag is running. To do so, open the Find My app, tap the Items tab, select your AirTag on the list of items, tap the name of your AirTag, and the serial number and firmware version will appear. If you want to force the update, you still can't. Apple simply says to make sure that you're running iOS 14.5 or later on an associated iPhone. Make sure your AirTag is within Bluetooth range of the iPhone now and again. And that should do it. Eventually. More news in a moment, but first, I am very happy to welcome a new sponsor to macOS Ken. It's Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Spoiler, they are talking about your people. Collide believes that end users are your IT department's most significant, untapped resource and key to fixing security issues. Collide sends your people important, timely, and relevant security recommendations for their Linux, Mac, and Windows devices right inside Slack. That's your people keeping your environment secure rather than you locking down hardware until they almost can't use it. I'll tell you, I really dig their philosophy. Collide gives your people the steps to secure their devices with contextually relevant recommendations and the rationale behind them. It's not just telling people what to do, it's telling them why, making them savvier around security. Collide knows that end users are able to make rational and informed decisions about security risks when educated and honestly motivated. When it comes to security, wouldn't you rather have your workers actively or even proactively on your side? We'll be talking about Collide more this week. In the meantime, you can go ahead and give their free trial a spin. Visit collide.com/macOSKen to sign up today. That's KOLIDE, collide.com/macOSKen. Enter your email when prompted to receive your free Collide gift bundle after trial activation at KOLIDE, collide.com/macOSKen. Sound the alarm. Mother's Day is next Sunday, the 8th of May. 2 things for it from Apple. 3 if you count the Mother's Day gift guide, which looks a lot like the Father's Day gift guide, the Christmas gift guide, and the Arbor Day gift guide, if we're honest. We'll look instead at 2 other things that aren't Apple selling Apple. iDownload blog has word of a few promos and discounts for Apple Pay users. According to the piece, using Apple Pay and the code ApplePay, all one word, will get you $15 off an order of $40 or more through 1-800-FLOWERS. Using Apple Pay and the code ApplePay, again, all one word, will get you 20% off of fragrances, body care, and other items at Apotheca. And finally, using Apple Pay and the code ApplePay2022, all one word and 4 numbers, will get you 25% off personal gifts, decor, and more from Zazzle. The deals are active now. They will run through 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, the 8th of May, aka Mother's Day 2022, you have been warned. If Mother's Day is less about buying gifts and more about spending time together in front of the television, Apple's got you covered there as well, or will by the weekend. Apple TV Plus issued a press release last Friday announcing a trailer for a new Peanut special, To Mom and Dad with Love. According to the release, To Mom and Dad with Love is a sweet Mother's Day celebration of friendship and family featuring the beloved Peanuts gang. While the other kids are excited to celebrate this special day, for Peppermint Patty, it's just a reminder that she didn't grow up with a mom. With her good friend Marcy by her side, she soon realizes that real families come in all shapes and sizes, and that Mother's Day is an opportunity to thank that special person in your life who means the most to you. Also, Snoopy and Woodstock do something. You can catch the trailer for the new Peanut special on YouTube. To Mom and Dad with Love hits Apple TV Plus on Friday the 6th of May. That is just ahead of Mother's Day, which, not to freak you out, is Sunday the 8th of May. Again, you have been warned. Again. Add another accolade to Apple's television roster. The company issued a press release late last week saying that the Apple TV Plus original documentary, The Year Earth Changed, had been honored by the Television Academy Honors. Sounds like a place for good programming that still managed to miss out on a trophy. According to the press release, the Television Academy Honors celebrates a diverse range of programming that explores and confronts significant issues facing our society in a compelling and impactful way, and acknowledges showrunners and producers who tackle complex social challenges to advance change. If this one missed your radar, the press release says The Year Earth Changed takes a fresh approach to the global lockdown and the uplifting stories of the natural world that have come out of it. It is available to view now on Apple TV+. News of second rounds for a couple of Apple TV Plus series. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release Friday announcing a Season 2 order for Pachinko. If you've not seen it, the release says epic in scope and intimate in tone. Pachinko tells an unforgettable story of war and peace, love and loss, triumph and reckoning. The new season will continue the riveting story that spans generations and is told across 3 languages: Korean, Japanese, and English. Word of the renewal came on the same day as the Season 1 finale. That does, of course, mean the entire first season is available to stream now on Apple TV+. No word on when the second season will debut. Shifting focus to a modern-day UK, a piece from the Mac Observer says the British Secret Service series Slow Horses has also been picked up for a second season, and it looks like filming is already underway. The first season of that series also ended on Friday. The Mac Observer says the season finale is capped with a trailer for Season 2. No hard release date on this one, though James Hawes, the series director, says Season 2 will hit sometime this year. You can catch the full first season now on Apple TV+. And finally today, if you're an Apple nerd, a film nerd, or a Star Wars nerd, there's a film hitting YouTube you may want to see. Mac Rumors has word of a teaser for the next Behind the Mac. The piece says this one features the sound effects division of Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm has been a driving force behind a lot of movies, almost none of which matter this week, since this week is Star Wars week. Or really, Wednesday is Star Wars Day. Taking a look and listen to how noise makes the move from our world to the land of the Jedi, the Skywalker-centric Behind the Mac lands on Apple's YouTube channel on Wednesday. May the 4th be with you. Between now and then, you can catch the teaser on YouTube. macOS Can, brought to you by me and sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and try it for free at KOLIDE collide.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.